Okay, this is question 8 of the M7 practice paper. So you're given 4 possible results in a music exam. So a person is either going to fail, pass, get a credit, or get a distinction. And the probabilities are given for 3 of those events. The 4th event, the probability is unknown. And then it says, what is the probability of a fail? So that's the only probability we don't know. Now, what they're testing here is, what we have here is a trial or an experiment. In any trial or experiment, all the probabilities for each event add up to 1. So in order to get the unknown probability, we're going to subtract the known probabilities from 1. So again, probability of getting a fail in part A. So that's going to be 1 minus all of these probabilities. So subtract a half, subtract 3 over 10, and then we subtract 1 over 20. And again, you can type all of that into your calculator, and that's going to give you 3 over 20. So that's the missing probability. Probability of somebody failing is 3 over 20. And keep them as fractions. Try to avoid decimals here, particularly when you're working with probabilities, unless there's decimals given in the actual question. Okay, part B says, what's the probability of not failing? So straight away, that's the not rule. So probability that an event does not happen. That's 1 minus the probability that it does happen. So probability that someone doesn't fail is 1 minus the probability that they do fail. So it's going to be 1 minus 3 over 20. And then that's just going to leave us with 17 over 20. Okay. Part C, it says, what is the probability of getting a credit or a distinction? Now, or in maths means add. When you see that word or, you should be thinking add. Okay, because in any trial, when someone does this exam, the trial is doing the music exam. Getting a credit, getting a distinction, or getting a pass, getting a fail, these are all mutually exclusive events. They cannot happen at the same time. You can only ever get one of these 4 outcomes. You can't get all of them or more than one of them. So that's what this OR means. The OR is telling you that these are mutually exclusive events. They can't happen at the same time. And we have a formula that allows you to work out the probability of one event happening or the other one happening when they're mutually exclusive. And this is the formula. So the probability that we get a credit or a distinction is equal to the probability of getting a credit plus the probability of getting a distinction. So that is the OR formula, or the OR rule for mutually exclusive events. So probability of C or D happening equals probability of C, in other words, getting a credit, plus, or means add, plus the probability of getting a distinction. So all you do now is chuck those probabilities in from your table. So getting a credit is 3/10. And then getting a distinction is 1 over 20. And again, you could type them into your calculator, or equally, you could make their denominators the same when you're adding or subtracting fractions. You know, you'd multiply this denominator by 2 and then multiply its numerator by 2 as well. And that would give you 6 over 20 plus 1 over 20 would give you 7 over 20. So our final answer there is just 7 over 20.